Hello, hello, hello. We are back. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 2 of our P&O Azura Let's Talk Ship series.
So in the first episode, we talked all about our itinerary and what we got up to in each port.
Yeah,
so if you've missed that, you might want to check that out after this video.
Yes.
You might also want to subscribe to our channel and turn on that notification bell as well so you don't miss out on future videos.
Yeah, because if you'd have been subscribed already, you might have seen the last video. And if you're subscribed, you get to see our next videos because there's a couple coming up. We're on episode number 2 and there's 5 in this series, so there's plenty more stuff on the way.
So what are we talking about today, Luke?
So yes, in today's episode, I was gabbling on there. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be discussing the wonderful P&O Azura and what we thought of the ship and what we liked and maybe what we didn't like as much. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to be talking all about our lovely, wonderful cabin and how that turned out. Because as you know, we didn't have no say in that. We just had to take it. It was take it or leave it. So yes. So I guess without any further ado, we should just get on with this, really. So let's go and talk a load of shit about P&O Azura. It was nice getting back on the good old gear, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
It was like slipping into a comfy pair of slippers, wasn't it? It was nice. So, for those of you who do not know, Azura is the younger sister to Ventura. She entered service in 2010. She's basically the second Ventura class cruise ship for P&O Cruises UK, and you will think to yourself, looking at the ship, it looks a lot similar to those Princess Cruises ships, you know, like the Grand class, the Crown class. That's because she is one of the subclasses of the Grand class of ship, which was made by Princess. So let's talk numbers. So how many passengers will you expect to find on this ship? So at double occupancy, you'll find 3,096 passengers. If they ram everybody they can in the rooms, they get the bunk beds full, all the kids are on it, you can expect to find 3,597 passengers on board, which will be looked after by a crew of 1,226. She has 14 passenger decks, as you can see. I mean, obviously there's more, but they're not for passengers, they're just for the crew. But 14 passenger decks. She's 290 metres long and comes in at a whopping 115,000 gross tonnes weight.
Impressive.
Not that we like to talk about ladies' weight, but there's the figures. That's the stats for you.
So a ship that size has lots of things going on to keep you entertained.
Loads of facilities on board to include.
So we've got 9 restaurants. We've got 11 bars, which we visited quite a few of them.
Yes, we did.
We've got 5 pools, one of them being a splash pool for the little ones.
Little one near the back at the top.
You've got the theatre, obviously. Mm-hmm. You've got a sea screen in this one. You
have a sea screen there. It's the only ship. Well, I think Avia has it now.
Yeah. So you've also got the sea screen.
That's lovely.
Which is just there, which Ventura's sister does not have.
No.
You then got the typical things like you've got the spa, you've got a gym, sports court, beautiful atrium.
She also has plenty of shops on board.
Yes.
Loads of shops. So if you get bored, there's plenty to do. You can go shopping.
There's lots of things we liked about the ship, wasn't there, Luke?
It's a lovely ship, and it's a perfect. So let's go into it. So what did we like about this ship? So we're going to start with number 1. What will you say, Gav? The size.
The size. I'd say I like smaller ships. These mega ships we're getting now, they're just too big. There's too many people on them, too many queues. Yeah. This seems to be about the perfect size.
The right balance.
It's not too small. It's got a lot of the P&O facilities on it.
Things like the Glass House,
the favourites,
the Beach House, Sindhu, Epicurean. So those restaurants you've come to love and on P&O. So they're on there.
Another thing that we really like is it's got a proper promenade deck on it as well.
And it goes like, I'm going to start there with that light, but it's pretty much, it sort of goes from there all the way around the back and all the way down the other side, and it'll go like all the way along there to there.
It's ideal for walking off those cruise calories.
It doesn't go all the way around the ship, unfortunately. We're going to get into a dislike in a minute, but I'll talk about that in a sec. So what else? We're going to talk about what we love first. We're going to do positives. But yes, we do love that there is a promenade deck. That is something we miss on some newer ships, at least. Right? So what else?
For you like taking photos and getting decent views, don't you?
Yes, and one of the best places you can take some whopping great shots of the ship is up here on the top of the planet bar. Top of the planet bar, on the roof of that you have the sky deck, and up here, if you're stood on like the wing there, and you look down, you can see down the side of the ship, you can see, basically you'll see footage of it. I'll probably put it over now, and it goes, you can see the funnel, and it's amazing. And you get to see them down the back of the ship as well. It's just really, really cool. I love the quirky things like that. Another good thing about the ship as well, while we're talking about views, is you can actually walk along the front here, around the front of the gym, and you can stand on top of the bridge basically, and that gives you some really good views. You can see into the bridge wings and stuff. It's pretty cool. I did like that.
Yeah, another really good thing about Azura is the staff. They were amazing.
Staff were exceptional, really were, and all happy.
Yes.
They all seemed to genuinely love the ship they were on.
Yeah, I think they were a bit like us. They liked the size of Azura. You talk to them about Arvia or Iona, and they were like, it was too big, too busy. Yeah. They do like Azura.
They liked the fact they could get to know the passengers better on a smaller ship, and I would definitely agree with that, because literally we were going to bars and stuff. They knew what we were drinking. One day we went to, which bar was it? It was Breakers, and we asked for water because we were going on an excursion or we were going off somewhere, and we said, "Oh, can we have 2 bottles of water, please, to put in the bag?" And they just went, tonic water, right? Do you want the Marella gin or? And we were laughing, and they were stumbling, like they were shocked, which was fun. It was really, really nice. The staff really made that cruise. Yeah, really did.
A happy crew makes happy passengers.
Yeah, and then going on to sauna and steam room, they were free. On other cruise ships we've been on, such as like Britannia and Arvia and Iona, definitely. You have to have like a thermal pass, and you have to pay to use things like saunas and steam rooms. They're not free. On ships like Azura, Ventura, Arcadia, not too sure about Aurora actually, because I'd never really been to spa in Aurora, believe it or not. Those ships, they have free saunas and steam rooms, which was great. They're single sex as well, so it's basically like part of the gym sort of changing room or the spa changing room area. So you have your men's changing room, women's changing room, and there's a free sauna and steam room in there, which I thought was actually, that's brilliant. It was one of my biggest picks because I spent ages in it. Like we were in there like every other day. It was really, really nice.
Now we're going to talk about the dislikes, because no cruise is perfect, unfortunately.
No.
I don't know what that's about, but
it's a sad ship. It's sad. It's going down. No, nothing that bad. Everything was fine. Nothing to go, raving on.
So
about.
There's some things which aren't quite perfect, or which weren't to our taste. So
little things.
So you missed the crow's nest.
I missed the crow's nest. Admittedly, she does have a planet bar. It's at the back though. I do prefer like an observation style bar lounge at the front of the ship. I like forward facing ocean views. This did offer a similar experience, the planet bar, but it's just not quite the same, is it? It's not bad, but it's just not as good as a crow's nest, unfortunately.
It's not quite the same, is it?
The second.
The next thing...
How do we word this bit?
I say let's call it the Azura Whiff.
Well, I think Ventura has the same as well, to be fair. So they have a tendency to pong.
Yes, so there are areas on the ship which are a bit smelly.
God awful stench. Sometimes you'd wake up feeling seasick or hungover, and you just go down the stairs. It's usually stairways, I'm going to say, make that quite clear. It's usually stairways on the prom deck, and it hits you, and it's just like...
So we did seem to notice it more on the second part of our cruise, where the weather was a little rougher.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. It's
at the front of the ship, this sort of area, and the forward stairwell, you tend to find a smell of garbage, like bin lorry. It's like, on bin days here, and you can smell the bin lorry, and you think, oh, it smells a wee bit whiffy, that. Yeah. It smelled like that. So there must be some sort of trash thing going on there. And then the middle of the ship...
It was quite a sulphury smell there, wasn't it?
It smelled like poo.
Yeah.
It was a poo smell.
Or like seweragey gas.
Nothing at the back, though. Maybe food. Nothing at the back, I can confirm it's fine. I think... what we were starting to work out, or trying to work out, is I think there are vents on the prom deck that are blowing air out, and I think what's happening is, depending on which way the wind's blowing, that air is blowing back against the promenade deck, which is why obviously you can smell it more, or when people are opening and closing the doors and you've got like a through draft, I think the smell of poo and rubbish is coming back and sucking into the ship, and it lingers, because then I think it gets trapped. Maybe. I mean, what we'd like to try is this class of ship with Princess, and it'd be interesting to see actually if it's a company problem or if it's a design flaw of the ship.
Well, if you've been on
any of these princess ships, like these Grand Class or Crown Class ships, and they have the same problem, let us know in the comments below. It'd be very interesting to know. Really interesting.
It didn't put us off too much because they were just areas we didn't tend to spend a huge. Prom deck we'd enjoy a walk around, but we wouldn't spend a lot of time there for it to bother us.
And if it's sitting there stinking, you're not going to sit there going, I'm taking it in and whinging. You're just going to go and just carry on walking past and just wait for it to go. So that is probably the biggest negative of the ship was that. But as I said, it's not that.
And to be honest, I think it's something that's well known and been complained about for many years. So the next issue or dislike wasn't an issue until more recent times.
Yes. Having cruised on Azura and Ventura previously, probably about 2 or 3 times over the two of them, you have always been able to walk along what is known as the beak or the clamshell at the front. It's an absolutely fantastic promenade, part of the promenade basically. You can even do a Rose and Jack at the front. It's fantastic. However, this time on Azura now being slightly different to Ventura, by the way, because Ventura you can actually just go up the stairs off the prom deck and carry on. Azura's always been you have to go inside, up a deck, to the front, and then back out of a door instead. That door is now closed, and it does have a sign on it saying it is for crew only. They've completely closed it off. It's no longer accessible to passengers at all. I
believe part behind that was a crew area, like a crew galley or crew bar or something. So they probably extended their ocean area.
Given wellness and well-being and looking after their crew, I think that's a great idea that they have a space to call their own for a breather. But what I'd like is maybe on sailorways or certain ports or on a sea day between certain hours. It would be nice if passengers could just still experience walking along there, because it is absolutely amazing. So that was a big letdown, because obviously being able to do it in the past, I was really looking forward to doing it this time, and when I couldn't do it, I was very disappointed. So there is that. It's not the biggest, worst thing ever. I mean, but it is a disappointment.
So our final negative is really only a negative from me. You didn't mind this.
I'm quite happy to eat my mashed potato, my carvery, and I always found something. My final negative, I should say, is the buffet. Well, we did eat quite a lot on this cruise compared to other cruises. Which I suppose, no, you say that though. At least we give it a bloody good run for its money. We did really try and try. So.
But I did find the buffet slightly limited and repetitive. But there's always something to eat, but you kind of sometimes force in meals or forced to find meals.
Oh, I was happy.
But Luke was always happy. So again, that just shows, isn't it? Luke's happy, I'm not. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's personal preference at the end of the day. It's like some people might never even get away for that garbage or that poo. Some people might not even bother with the beak or care about the beak. Some people might love the planet bar, prefer to look at the wake rather than the bow. Everybody's different. Yes. These are just our opinions, our negatives, our positives as well.
But I'd say certainly on this cruise, the positives way outweighed the negatives.
Definitely. The whole experience was fantastic. It was really, really nice. As I said, really good. I mean, looking at our little list here, we've got a lot more likes than we've got dislikes, because we've had to write it down. We couldn't remember all this. And yeah, Azura is a lovely, lovely ship. We would definitely cruise on her again, definitely. So now I've talked about our ship, we're now going to talk about our accommodation. So as you know, we had an obstructed ocean view cabin. I had no choice in the matter, as we've said as well, but we were grateful to go, happy with what we got for the price. So we had cabin E620, which was on deck 8. It is a fully obstructed ocean view cabin, sort of located mid-aft. If you would like to see a full detailed tour of that room, I've already made a video of it. It is already on our channel, so go check that out if you want to look at that in more detail. But anyway, just to summarise, as you said, it was fully obstructed.
It was a nice cabin, wasn't it?
I mean, normally I'd sort of avoid an obstructed. I'd be a bit crafty and I'd look at the deck plans and see if I could find a bigger gap between davits, or try and swindle it away so I could get just a bit more of a view. Yeah. But given that we were shoved in that room and what we actually got, it was nice to have natural light coming through.
Yeah.
The view was obstructed. There was a tender boat and a lifeboat, and there was a davit in the middle, but there was just enough of a gap for you to get the gist of what was going on outside, just to work out what the weather was like.
Yeah.
The view wasn't amazing. I'm not going to say it was, but it suited our needs, and we were quite happy with what we got.
And we had no choice, so
yeah,
it did the job. The room itself was very spacious,
comfortable.
Storage, so much storage. We were there for 14 nights, and we could probably do another 14 nights.
Honestly, we filled it with 14 nights with clothes, and you could have easily got another. Would you say 2 weeks? I'd say you'd get two. You
need more hangers, but you'd get plenty.
But then they did provide more hangers as well, so that's good.
The bed was comfy. Cabins are slightly dated. She's not a brand new ship, so it was
comfortable. Yeah, it wasn't out of date.
No, the only thing I'd say was out of date was a TV. It was one of those smaller TVs.
Yeah, and it has like this wooden dado rail stuff everywhere. That made it a bit more dated.
But yeah, to be fair, I suppose the only negative really was the TV was quite small and clunky.
Yeah.
And we've noticed things with ships that age as well. For some reason, the shower can be quite low, and it was quite low in this one.
I mean, the bathroom itself wasn't ridiculously dated. No. I mean, it was more of a creamy whitey colour, and it had like a nice blue sort of stone mosaic thing around. It looked quite tidy.
Also, one other thing is it was very clean.
Yeah,
it was clean. It was cleaner than some other rooms we've had in cruise ships.
It was kept really well by our attendant. She was brilliant. She really was.
The room attendant came once per day. Yeah. So the evening turnaround hasn't come back on P&O. So you do your normal thing when you go out for the day. You put your card out to say you're out, and she'll come and make the room up for you.
Yeah. I mean,
couldn't fault her really. She was brilliant.
The tenant was lovely, brilliant. I can't fault her work. We had no noise complaints with the room really. I mean, there was a laundrette opposite, and there was a crew hatch. Maybe once or twice we might have heard the door go. In fairness, got to hand it to other guests. Given that they were going out the laundrette and stuff, we didn't hear them. There was no smells, no noise. We were right above Sindhu as well. I think it was the bar, but I mean, Sindhu would have shut and finished. We were out till late anyway, so we didn't notice any noise.
And the good thing where we were, because we weren't on like the top deck or anything, you don't get the noise of chairs being dragged around and stuff.
And it felt, we left the room on the roughest sea days, and leaving the room and heading like up to the buffet, you could see there was a noticeable amount more swaying and pitching and rolling up there compared to our room. I mean, you could feel it. I'm not saying you couldn't, but it was not as bad in our room. Our location was quite good. It was relatively stable, even given how quite far aft we were as well.
And to be fair, it was great to access the atrium and the venues.
One flight of stairs, and you were there. You could run down the flight of stairs. You were at the prom deck. It was just great for that. It really was.
But as we said, we have got a detailed cabin tour on our channel.
So go and check that out. So everybody, that is going to conclude this episode of Let's Talk Ship. We hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative and useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. And as we said before, if you want to stay up to date with our upcoming videos, please subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. So in next episode, we're going to be discussing the dining on board Azura. So we'll be going into things like the complimentary dining and the chargeable dining, so like your specialities, I suppose. So that, yes, I hope you're not too hungry. Maybe eat before you watch it, because by the time you finish, you'll be starving. Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this video, everybody.
Yes, if you've got any questions, please head over to our Facebook page, drop comments below, or you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah. So until the next episode, folks, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.